After having given a talk on as a greeting to the yogis the other day, Sayadaw is going to begin his series of discourse from today, 3rd December 2002. All the discourses will be in the afternoons from 3 to 4 o'clock, 1 hour. And the talks will be for the inspiration of the practicing yogis, given both from the theoretical and practical aspects. For the past 60 years, he has in mind to talk about this Saraniya Dhamma, the memorable qualities as given in the Sutta known as Kosambiya Sutta, as given in Majjhima Nikaya, the Middle Land sayings. However, before he goes on to this discourse, he would like to say something about the basic method of practice for the yogis, so that they will become familiar with what they are going to do. And in the case of this Saraniya Sutta or Dhamma, the memorable qualities, this is very important in that it can create love, mutual love and respect among yogis who are practicing the Dhamma. And this will be given so that the yogis will know what the Buddha has said about this love and respect among the practicing yogis. Though the yogis come from different locations, geographical locations, they have different mentalities, different customs and manners, different views and opinions. But once they are able to understand these 6 memorable qualities, then in the eyes of the Dhamma, they will be one and the same. They will become one. So before we go on to this practice, Sayadaw would like to say something about the method of practice, so that the yogis will be able to understand what they are going to do. What Sayadaw is going to talk about is a discourse known as Anuggahita Sutta. First of all, the yogis have to have a right view known as Samadhi. That means the right view as regards karma and karma results. If you do something good, you will get good results. If you do something bad, you will get bad results. Good begets good, bad begets bad. That is the essence of the right view as regards karma, action, known as karma sakata samadhi. Karma is one's own property. This is the basic concept one should possess. What we should know as a basic concept is that just like when you are taking food, if we take unwholesome food, bad food, then we'll have stomach problem, health problem. So we have to abstain from taking this harmful food. If we do that, then no harm will come to you. If we take good food, then you will get good results by way of health and happiness. So knowing that the benefit comes from taking good food, you choose to take good food. So also, if you do something wrong by body, speech and mind, you are bound to get unwholesome results. If you do good deeds by body, speech and mind, you are bound to realize wholesome results. Knowing that, you abstain from committing unwholesome deeds so that you get good results. By practicing, by purifying your physical, verbal, mental behaviors, you're bound to get the benefit of the result. And such is the benefit of having this basic concept of Kamma Sakata Samadhi. The Kamma, the concept of Kamma and Kamma result. Those who possess this basic concept of Kamma and Kamma result, that is Kamma Sakata Samadhi, from there you are led to a junction where the roads branch off into jhana samadhi, the right view of jhana, or absorption. Then we have this vipassana samadhi, the right view of insight. Megha samadhi, the right view of path. Phala samadhi, the right view of fruition or fruit. And lastly we have Pichavakana samadhi, the right view of reflection. Now, as to the first one, namely jhana samadhi, the branch of jhana samadhi. When we practice with the right view on jhana, you will be able to attain the mundane absorptions, lokiya jhanas, and you will be able to cultivate knowledge in connection with mundane jhana. Such is known as jhana samadhi, the right view of jhana. As to the next branch, or second branch, known as vipassana samadhi, the branch of the right view of insight, or vipassana. We are practicing in order to observe the psychophysical phenomena which are subject to cause and condition. They have cause and effect. They arise due to cause and condition. So you just observe as they arise. And once you are able to see the conditionality of the psychophysical phenomena, you'll be able to overcome skeptical doubts in your own right. And then you'll be able to see the arising and passing away of psychophysical phenomena which are subject to cause and condition, the conditioned phenomena. And whatever arises and passes away will not be satisfactory. And whatever arises and passes away and not satisfactory cannot be self or soul. They are unmanageable, uncontrollable. They arise at their will, not your will. In this way you are able to observe the three characteristics, universal characteristics of impermanence, unsatisfactoriness, and selflessness or non-self. Such is the practice of insight, vipassana. And since you are knowing the truth of the psychophysical phenomena in their own characteristics, you are said to be practicing or possessing the samadhi, right view. And since this is the right view of insight, when you combine these two together, vipassana and samadhi, it becomes vipassana samadhi, the right view of insight. Once you are able to observe this rising and passing away of psychophysical phenomena, and with the maturity of insight knowledge, as you are practicing the satipatthana, by way of satipatthana, coming to see the mind and body, that this is the mind, this is the body, coming to the maturity of the practice, coming to the cessation of the formations, coming to the cessation of feelings and thoughts which come and go, you come to the stage of the path consciousness, Riya Mega, the path of the noble ones, seeing the consciousness, experiencing the consciousness of the path of the noble ones. Then you are said to be possessing or practicing or realizing the Mega Samadhi, the right view of path. So, once you realize this path consciousness, you are seeing the truth, you are having the correct view, Samadhi, so that when you combine these two things, becomes Mega Samadhi, the right view which is associated with the path consciousness. Now once you realize the path, you are bound to realize the fruit of the path. Thus, you are seeing the right view, you are having the right view as regards the fruit, known as Phala Samadhi. Once you have experienced the path and the fruit, you will be able to reflect upon your achievements, what you have achieved after the path and fruit consciousness. And such a right view is known as Paccappakkana Samadhi, the right view of reflection. And out of these 5 things that we have discussed, Jhana Samadhi, Vipassana Samadhi, Mega Samadhi, Phala Samadhi, and Paccappakkana Samadhi, the last 3, namely Mega, Phala and Paccappakkana Samadhi, are not to be practiced. They arise as the result, as a benefit, as a result of the practice. Whereas the first 3 things, the first 3 Samadhi, namely Kama Sakara Samadhi, Jhana Samadhi and Vipassana Samadhi, has to be practiced and possessed by you. So, these things, the first 3 things have to be practiced, namely Kama Sakara Samadhi, the right view of Kama and Kama results, Jhana Samadhi, the right view of Jhana or absorption, and the right view, the Vipassana Samadhi, the right view of insight. Now, as for the first 3 things, the very first one, Samadhi, is Kama Sakara Samadhi, the right view of Kama and Kama results. This kind of concept is held by 2 kinds of doctrines. Those people who hold the Buddha's doctrine, or Buddhists, and those who hold the Brahmana doctrines, or Brahmins. As for the other denominations, there is no such thing as Kama and Kama's result. Now even as for the Brahmins who believe in this Kama and Kama result, they hold 2 kinds of views. Although they believe in Kama and Kama results, such as good begets good, bad begets bad, Kamavadi, the doctrine of Kama. On the other hand, they also believe in the great Brahma as creator, that things are created by the great Brahma. So they hold 2 views. They are not holding just one view, namely Kama and Kama results. As for the Buddhists, they hold pure Kama and Kama result, Kama Sakara Samadhi. So as for the Brahmins, they hold two kinds of views, both karma view and view of Creator. Again, from the karma sakata smadhiti, it can branch off into three branches, namely karma branch, jhana branch, and panya branch. Panya means wisdom. Now, as to the karma branch, believing in the basic concept of karma and karma result, karma sakata smadhiti, one performs generosity, one practices generosity, such as dana, giving offerings, giving service, and so on, which can lead to rebirth, which can lead one to rebirth in human and deva worlds. This much only. That is for those who walk the karma path. Then we have this jhanic path. Both those who are Buddhists and Brahmins, especially the Brahmins, practice jhana so that when their body breaks up, they will be reborn in a Brahma world, the fine material and fine immaterial worlds or planes, where they live for many eons, world cycles. So, for Buddhists and some Brahmins, they follow the jhanic path, and with the practice of jhana, they are reborn in the fine material, fine immaterial worlds. Then we have this wisdom path, panya. When we say wisdom, sometimes we translate as knowledge. It is not just ordinary knowledge. It is a profound knowledge, a profound wisdom, seeing the truth. The truth of psychophysical phenomena, which arise and pass away. They are subject to cause and condition, and they are subject to the three characteristics of impermanence, unsatisfactoriness, and selflessness. Such is known as Vipassana Panya, insight knowledge or insight wisdom. And if we undertake that practice, from insight practice, one can be led after maturity of the practice towards the realization of the path and the fruit of the path, and then Pachapagana, the reflection, so that this is known as Mega Panya, Phala Panya, and Pachapagana Panya. So seeing such truth, profound wisdom, is what is meant here. Only with the practice and realization of this profound wisdom, insight knowledge or path knowledge, one will be able to be liberated from the sufferings of rounds of rebirths. We have to take that you all have come here with the basic concept of karma and karma results, that is karma sakata smadhiti, believing in the karma and karma result, that good begets good, bad begets bad, and all these karma actions, good and bad, are your property, is your inheritance. So we have to take like this. So you have this basic concept of karma sakata smadhiti. You have not come here to practice jhana smadhiti, the right view of jhana. You have come here to practice vipassana smadhiti, the right view of insight. But of course, this samadhiti will not be realized by you in the beginning as you come here. Even to purify your mind, you have to do quite a lot. For some time, for some people, it may take 1 week or so for those who are very strenuous, intelligent, to be able to cultivate this Vipassana Samadhi. So we can say that for those who have just come here, will not be able to cultivate this Vipassana Samadhi. So we have to nurture this right view of insight, Vipassana Samadhi. So at this time, we have to nurture this sapling of Vipassana Samadhi in 5 ways, known as nurturing the sapling of Vipassana Samadhi, so that you'll be able to overcome the negative elements, undermining elements, and be able to cultivate insight knowledge. Thus we'll be able to overcome these negative elements and undermining elements. So in the beginning of this discourse, the Buddha has given this 5 ways of nurturing the sapling of insight. That is nurturing the Vipassana Samadhi, right view of insight, so that one will be able to purify one's mind and be free from the bondage of kilesas. And if one is able to be fulfilled with these 5 factors, one will be able to realize the result by way of the path and fruition knowledge, and be free from the bondage of kilesas. Now the Buddha has said these 5 ways of nurturing the insight. First of all, we have this observing the precepts. Then we have to listen to the discourses in an appropriate way, discourses which are given, suitable discourses which are given to you. And listening to such discourses, by listening, you are also nurturing the insight. This is known as Sutta Anuggahita, the nurturing by way of listening. Then you report to your teachers what you have observed. You discuss with the teachers so that you are able to uplift yourself, nurture your insight. And this method is known as Sakicca Anuggahita, the nurturing by way of discussion or reporting. Now, as you go on practicing by observing the psychophysical phenomena as they arise, you are able to concentrate your mind and overcome the hindrances to progress, known as nivaranas. Thus be able to concentrate your mind, samadhi. And this is one way of nurturing your insight, known as samatha anuggahita, nurturing by way of tranquility or concentration. And with this, you are able to practice insight, cultivate insight from the basics, progressing through the various stages of insight. Sometimes in between, in the middle, you may think that you have come to the end of the road by being able to experience sudden Dhamma experiences in a unique manner, in an extraordinary manner. You think you have come to the end of the road. You realize the path. This is misleading. So in that case, you may be stagnating in the middle of your practice, without being able to progress to higher knowledge. So in that case, the teachers have to give guidance so that you can progress without stagnation. And such method of nurturing is known as Vipassana Anuggahita, the nurturing by way of insight, until you are able to overcome all kilesas to the point of no return and realize the path consciousness. Gaining insight means freedom from the bondage of the undermining elements in your mind with knowledge. In order to realize the path and fruition knowledge of the noble ones, you must be fulfilled with the Vipassana Samadhi, the right view of insight. Only then you will be able to come to the end of the road, that is, realizing the path and fruit. Unless you are able to cultivate this Vipassana Samadhi to completion, you will not be able to realize the path and fruition knowledge. So, we have to sow the seed of Vipassana Samadhi, nurturing the insight. Without nurturing, you will not be able to accomplish anything. To be able to cultivate insight knowledge from the basics through the stages of insight, you need to cultivate these 5 ways, namely nurturing by way of morality, sila Anuggahita, nurturing by way of listening to the talks in an appropriate way, discussion with the teachers about your observations or difficulties given, nurturing your concentration by noting continuously without interruption. And when you have come to certain doubts about your practice, you need the guidance of the teachers in order to progress to higher knowledge. You have to nurture in this way, Palava Vipassana, strong, powerful insight knowledge. This is the nurturing of insight. So unless you are able to go through these 5 stages of 5 ways of nurturing, you will not be able to cultivate insight knowledge to fulfillment. And unless you are able to cultivate insight knowledge to completion, you will not be able to realize your goal, namely the path and fruition knowledge of the noble ones. By explaining so much at this point, or during the hour, you will not be able to understand clearly. Because the time is up. So this will be continued tomorrow with explanations by way of examples. That's all for today. Sa